Boys and girls, welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. In the last episode, we finished everything at Camp Forlorn Hope officially, except for the quest that's going to send us back there to request a resupply for Bitter Springs, which will come up soon. And then that brought us to Camp Golf, where we talked to Chief Hanlon, and he inevitably did the thing where he doesn't alive anymore. So, in this episode, we're going to try to make some final pushes towards progressing Boone's companion quest, which is going to send us to Camp McCarran, which along the way is also going to help us progress the NCR plot, because Camp McCarran is the hub of the NCR in the Mojave Wasteland, so obviously that's going to be where we want to go. We would have already had enough points for Boone's companion quest, except there was a miscalculation on my end. Killing all the Legion at Cottonwood Cove, as we step outside, 2 points towards Boone's quest progression. You need 5 Boone points in total. Right now I have 4. If I would have done this the correct way, I would have had 6. You're supposed to kill all the Legion at Cottonwood Cove, but under the caveat that you have to be sent there for a quest to do it. If the quest isn't active when you kill everybody at Cottonwood Cove, it doesn't count. I knew that in the back of my head, I just didn't think the quest had to be active. I knew the quest existed, I just didn't think it had to be an active quest, and you had to go there as like part of a mission to do it. So if you had done it the correct way, you would have 6 Boone points if you've done everything that I've done so far, which is rescuing the hostages, shut up, at Nelson, and then rescuing the prisoners at the Legion raid camp in the quest Booted. And then if you had went to Cottonwood Cove and killed everybody for the quest that sends you there to do that, you would have 6 total if you had done what I done, but I'm a dummy, so we're only at 4 instead of 6, so we are going to have to go to Camp McCarran, which we discovered last episode, so we are going to fast travel there, and then we are going to start making progress towards some of the stuff in the camp. So there are at least 3 ways we can get Boone's final Boone point for his companion quest in Camp McCarran that I'm aware of, at least. There may be more, but there are definitely 3 that we can do. The first one is we're going to talk to Colonel Shu, who is going to give us a quest about somebody leaking information. If we find that person and kill them, that's 1 point available. I don't think that's the best way to end that quest, so we might not get that one, because I think we want to try to keep the spy alive. Option number 2 is there is a prisoner being interrogated over here by Lieutenant someone. I can't remember her name, but whenever we go talk to her, she's going to tell us to interrogate the prisoner, and then if we kill the prisoner, we'll get a point. That definitely isn't going to be the way we go about that one, because killing the prisoner is like the worst outcome that we could get from that part of the Camp McCarran shenanigans. So we're going to explore some of the things in Camp McCarran and see what is going on. First and foremost, since we're already out here, let us go talk to the 1st Recon snipers, wherever they are hanging out at in here. Talk to Corporal Betsy first, the damaged one.
Never seen you around before. What do you want?
Have you seen any serious combat here?
Not unless you count the fiends as serious. Gorobets keeps us inside the fence most of the time. Doesn't matter to me. I just shoot bad guys. Sooner or later, they'll move us out to the dam, though. That's when the shit gets nasty.
Nasty how?
Legion fights to win, and they're smart. Hell of a lot smarter than these crazy fiends. But I don't feel bad about shooting Legion boys. Fiends, on the other hand, sometimes I get pangs of conscience. Not often, but sometimes.
First, I've heard about conscience in a while.
Yeah, doesn't sound like me at all, right? But it happens. Some cute little junkie bitch, so fucked up she doesn't even know that she's the bad guy. And I've got a headshot her. Makes me think. Might just be sex, though. I see some cute little number, and I'd rather get in her pants. So maybe I'm a stone-cold bitch after all.
Alright, so even after she just heavily hinted that she's a lesbian, how about a date? I like tough women.
Yeah, right. You're sniffing up the wrong skirt. Try me again when you're tall, blonde, and female.
Figured as much. Alright, goodbye. We can't talk to her about anything right now.
We put our trust in Hanlon. Look where it got us. Makes you wonder if we can trust anyone at all.
I don't know what that means. You guys aren't really in that bad of a spot, all things considered.
I'm Lieutenant Gorobets, 1st Recon. If you're looking to collect a bounty, you should talk to Major Daughtry.
I think it's funny how, like, everybody in the game will comment on Boone being a 1st Recon sniper, except for the 1st Recon snipers. They just don't care that he's here, like, at all. Maybe it's a situation like Agent Washington and, like, Red versus Blue. Maybe he's just kind of like the runt of the litter. Like, even though he's one of the best, he's the worst of the best, so the best don't respect him or something. It's just funny how none of the 1st Recon snipers acknowledge that Boone is here with me. Or that I'm wearing an NCR 1st Recon beret, for that matter.
We're the finest sniper outfit in the whole NCR. If you need a bullet put into a target's eye from 800 yards away, you call us. Some of my team aren't without their share of scars, though, like Betsy and Sterling.
What's wrong with Betsy?
Cook, one of the fiends, ambushed her and 10 of spades. They both managed to escape, but not before Cook raped her. Betsy shrugged it off like it was nothing, but her behavior keeps getting worse. Always making passes at every woman who wanders by. It's inappropriate for anyone at First Recon to behave that way. I could discipline her, but I'd rather she get medical help.
I can talk to Betsy about getting medical help for her trauma if you want.
I'd appreciate it. As her CO, I could order her to get help, but I'd have her agree with the idea.
What happened to Sterling?
Corporal Sterling was an NCR Ranger until he was captured by the Legion. They tortured him pretty badly. He wasn't able to be a Ranger after that, but his eyes are still sharp, so I had him transferred to First Recon.
None of the other dialogue options are really important right now. We got the quest I Don't Hurt Anymore for Corporal Betsy. We will talk to her in a second. Another bullet point for Boone's quest is I have to talk to Sergeant Bitterroot about Bitter Springs. There are also skill magazines under his bunk if you would like to take them. So,
sounds like we're running prim now. I'd still rather take my leave at the strip.
Okay, he's not even in the room with me. Wake up, Bitterroot.
Hanlon, and look where it got us. I'm Bitterroot, First Recon. You got a reason to talk to me?
Bitterroot, you have an unusual name.
You trying to start trouble? Or do you really not know where I got that name?
I didn't mean to offend. You don't have to tell me if you'd rather not. Also, Sergeant Bitterroot, suck a dick. Why would I know that?
It's a con name. You know, the great cons. That's what my parents were. I figured I grew up around the bastards. They owed me a name after all they put me through.
What a Reddit user response. I don't have a reason to not like Sergeant Bitterroot, but he is a Reddit user in a universe that doesn't have Reddit. What happened to your parents? Let's talk about something else. Fuck it. What happened to your parents?
They're dead. Got themselves killed at Bitter Springs. Served them right if you ask me.
Tell me about what happened to them at Bitter Springs. There's not a really easy way to ask him about Bitter Springs. What happened to your dead parents at Bitter Springs?
It was a massacre. That's what a lot of NCR folk will tell you. Most of them feel plenty bad about what happened. But I was there. Saw it myself. I don't care what anybody says. The cons asked for Bitter Springs. They wouldn't leave the NCR be. My damn parents, too. They were just as bad as the rest.
So your name, it comes from Bitter Springs. Let's not talk about his parents anymore. Bitter Springs.
You're not fully grown till you've taken a beat down. Everybody gathers around and hits you till you're damn near dead. After that, if you haven't begged for mercy, you get to choose a new name. One you'll use for the rest of your life. When NCR slaughtered the cons of Bitter Springs, I hadn't got my beat down yet. I was still too young. The way I see it, Bitter Springs was my beat down. So afterward, I gave myself a name. It's all I got from the cons. It's all I ever want.
Dude, we are prying about his parents. How did you survive the massacre?
Guess I could tell a pretty good story if I had a mind. But the truth is, I don't know. Just got lucky. They brought me to Daughtry after the battle. He was just a captain back then. Guess he saw something in me. Knew I didn't belong with the cons. Maybe he felt bad, too. About how his men killed my folks. I told him he did me a service, but he didn't believe me. Still doesn't. He's a good man, Daughtry. Doesn't act like it sometimes, I know. But he didn't have to take me in.
Intelligence 7, you're not telling me something you couldn't have forgotten the whole massacre? Bro, we are being respectfully dickheads about this guy's trauma.
It's like I tell Major Daughtry. Best not to look under a rock if you don't really want to know what's there. Could be that NCR found some blood on me and none of it mine. Could be that a few of those cons didn't die from NCR bullets. I had scores of my own to settle. Deeper ones than NCR ever had. Don't bother asking who they were with.
Dude, this option won't go away. What? You don't really mean what you said about your parents, do you?
Don't I? Mister, you never met my parents. My dad got himself fucked up every chance he got. Always started with folk for no reason. Hell, he was the one who taught me to shoot. You know how? By taking pot shots at NCR, and not just soldiers. Civilians, too. Even kids. Then he'd get high with his buddies and swap tales about the folk they killed. Bunch of animals. And my mom? A couple of times she tried to sell me to some waster just to score some jet. Even the other cons said she was useless. Only reason they kept her around was because she was how'd my dad say it? A smoking piece of ass.
Alright, so it's probably not going to be straight up said, but based on how he's kind of avoiding specifics, things he's already said, and then how he feels about his parents, I think it's hinted that Sergeant Bitterroot killed his parents because he hinted that he had some scores to settle, and he has not mentioned anybody else negatively other than his parents, so I guess we're left to assume that he is responsible for his parents' death, so I've heard enough, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, that's probably best.
He has a lot of options, but I don't think any of them matter. I already got you to open up about all your traumas. Take sniper rifle. I can just have it? Man, the first recon snipers are the best. But now I'm over encumbered.
Howdy. Name's Sterling, first recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had.
You remember everyone who passes through here?
Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all. And a lot of scouting from place to place.
Let's ask him anyway. Have you always been stationed with the first recon?
Used to be a ranger. One of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays.
Why did you leave the Rangers? We already know.
Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either.
How did you manage to escape Malpace?
Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me. So they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said.
Alright, that doesn't do anything that I thought it would. Let's talk about his rifle, then probably just dip.
I called her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself.
As most people do.
Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Gorbets reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I could hit my targets.
I was hoping he would have had more to say that was important, but no. There's one more member of First Recon, but I have no idea where he's at, so let's talk to Corporal Betsy real quick, see if we can complete her quest. You should get medical help for your trauma.
The lieutenant's been talking to you, hasn't he? Look, I don't need a head doctor. I'm first recon, damn it. You don't see the others crying about every little bruise and scrape, do you?
Damn, that's kind of harsh. Alright, let's do the medicine route.
Just another injury to take care of, huh? Well, when you put it that way. Alright. There's a Dr. Usanagi who's supposed to be good at this sort of thing.
We have that option again? No, I'm not trying to get rejected twice in one episode, so that's that. Talk to Lieutenant Gorabets again.
What can I do for you?
I convinced Corporal Betsy to get help from Dr. Usanagi.
I wish someone with your medical training had come along sooner. I think she'll actually stick with the treatment because of what you said. I was afraid that Betsy wouldn't go for long-term treatment because she didn't want to look bad in front of the rest of the squad. You settled that. Do me a favor and let Usanagi know Corporal Betsy is coming. I'd like to make sure the medical clinic has time for her.
Alright, we'll do. That is gonna send us to the middle of places I haven't been yet. Yeah, we just straight up have not been to that side of the world yet, but it's actually... Nah, it's not that far. Alright, let's make a quick side trek to the Vegas Medical Clinic. Pick up the sharecropper farms along our travels. Get the gun runners. Let's keep tagging locations as we go along, because right next to the Gunrunners is the north gate for Freeside. Sorry, that's the east gate, my bad. There's a random fiend in the middle of the street. That is a very odd place for there to be a fiend, but get the Crimson Caravan, and then the place we need to go is on the other side of the Crimson Caravan. And the New Vegas Medical Clinic. And then Dr. Usanagi. He be sleeping.
Welcome to the New Vegas Medical Clinic. I'm a fully qualified physician and can fix whatever is wrong with you for a reasonable fee.
I don't need any of that. Corporal Betsy from 1st Recon will be coming to you for mental treatment.
Mental trauma can be just as debilitating as physical injuries. Fortunately, I'm well qualified in such treatment. I'll make time in my schedule.
Fantastic. And then maybe at some point we will be coming back to her to talk about getting some implants, but for now we're just going to go back out to the wasteland and go back to Camp McCarran. So just talking to Dr. Usanagi made that quest complete itself, so we don't have to go back and talk to 1st Recon. However, we will be chatting with them again soon. But for now, the reason we kinda came to Camp McCarran for Boone, we are gonna go inside and talk to Colonel Shu. It is dark as hell in here, and me turning my flashlight on did not help. Colonel, let's talk.
Something I can do for you? I'm glad we could finally meet. My sources tell me you've done some good work for us. What brings you to Camp McCarran?
I'm here to provide support. Is there anything I might be able to help with?
You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word.
Any other problems?
Yeah. On top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out.
You seem calm, given that things are as bad as they are. I could look into who's leaking the NCR intelligence, that one.
Well, why not? Given your recent arrival, at least I can safely rule you out as the leak. I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. See what you find. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements. And it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. He can fill you in.
Okie dokie, will do. I put a spell on you as the only quest we are interested in right now because it is going to be the easiest path, in the best path for everything else going on in the wasteland right now to complete Boone's quest. So, 2 birds, 1 stone, best stone in the same process. So, Captain Curtis is just in here chilling. It's dark outside and dark in here, so... What's that? Sniper nest location. I lost karma. What is that? Deliver station Camp Forlorn Hope for Polotli Major Joseph or highest ranking officer major. This is to inform you that a small sniper nest has been set up successfully near Cottonwood Cove as requested. The nest should have some bedding and... Oh, we already found this. We already know about that, but like...
What is it?
Nothing. Talk real quick, though.
Nice to meet you. I'm Curtis.
Colonel Shu wanted me to help you look into the recent intelligence leaks.
Smart man. I could use somebody who can operate under the radar around here. Whoever our mole is, he's been slippery. Whenever one of the MPs gets too close, he changes his habits. Our last lead went cold weeks ago.
Where should I start?
You want my advice? Start by talking to people with a lot of eyes in the field. People like Lieutenant Boyd or Sergeant Contreras, maybe. Careful with Contreras, though. He's not above suspicion himself. Keep me apprised of any leads you get. This guy's gotten a lot of my men killed. I'm just itching to return the favor.
Okay, goodbye. Alright, so they're trying to hint at that, Sergeant Contreras is potentially the mole. However, Lieutenant Boyd, I'm stuck, is right upstairs. Let's go talk to her real quick.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
Yep.
Now, what kind of MP would I be if I didn't notice anything suspicious? I've had soldiers go AWOL, break-ins, thefts, you name it. Maybe break-in isn't the right word. We didn't find signs of forced entry, but I've had reports of someone sneaking into the control tower at night. It's probably just a meeting spot for a steamy military base love affair. Kids today. But it bothers me that they didn't break in. It means they have an access code. Most soldiers around the base don't have that.
Would you be willing to give me the control tower access keys so I can check it out?
Sure, if you want to investigate. It's not like there's anything to steal up there, just a bunch of old communications equipment. If you can find out any more, I'd be interested to hear it. There's something about this I really don't like, and if I weren't tied up here, I'd be staking it out personally.
Okay. That's all we need for right now. Bye-bye. Boone. Let's go outside. Take the metal shutters outdoors, and the control tower we need is the big one, I guess. So let's go over here. See what's going on here. And in we are. Alright, so the pattern that's trending in this is that every day around midnight there are multiple people coming in and going. So maybe that is something to look into. I am stuck again. Desk is empty. Ham radio turns on and off. Talk radio, nothing happens. There's literally nothing in here. The only thing we have to go on is that around midnight every night there are multiple people coming and going. So with that said, what time is it right now? 7:15 in the morning. We would have to wait like 14 hours. More than that, like 16 hours. So we know, I don't remember their names, but I'll remember when I see them. If someone other than those two people show up whenever it's not their time to be here, we know they are the people that are probably going to be guilty. So let's go to the wait option, and let's wait 15 hours, and then we'll just actually wait in real time. Alright, I was off by 1 hour, let's wait again. And now Boone, just sit here and be quiet. We're just going to watch who goes in. Boone, you come here often? Camp McCarran, that is? You'd also think that that guy up there might have been, like, helpful to see who's coming in here, considering his guard post literally sees the entire cross on the runway, but nope, he's just a terrible guard. He's watching the outside of the wall, which is, like, one of the most protected places. So far, nothing's going on. Nothing's crossed, nothing's went into the door, nothing's come out of the door. Oh, there's somebody. Is that somebody patrolling? Were they there when we came out? Who is that? Can I see? Nope, they're too far away to VATS. Aye, just hide. Just hide and keep looking at the door, Boone. Don't look at me, look at the door. I still can't believe you're wearing Legion head armor, though. Like, I get, like, the headpieces aren't faction-affiliated, but, like, I thought I knew you better, Boone. Oh, detected. I've detected again. Who is detecting me? Boone, are you detecting me? It can't be that person. They're so far away. Alright, they finally pinged on our little radar in the bottom left, which means they're actually getting closer to us, which means presumably they're gonna go in the door. Who is it? Alright, we can't VATS them. So whoever that is just went in. Boone, let's go find out.
Lupa, this is Frumentarius Picus. Over.
Go ahead, Picus.
Afternoon patrol enters Fiend territory at 1300. Have them mind that stretch.
10-4, Picus. Fiends will be alerted.
Roger, Lupa.
What's the status of your primary mission, Picus?
Charges are set. Detonation will occur as the train leaves the station. Over.
How long?
Couple of minutes. Over.
10-4. Keep us updated.
10-4.
Okay, so we know about the monorail. We have to go defuse that now. Like I said, you could get the point for killing whoever that was, but I think we know. Even though I never officially, like, ID'd my target, I think we all know that that's Captain Curtis. The NCR doesn't like you just killing people, so we're going to deal with him the diplomatic way after we go to Colonel Shu, because right now Captain Curtis doesn't know that we know. So right now our goal is going to go to stop the monorail from exploding, and there's no guards on duty, so they're not going to stop us, so out we go into the platform, and you have to do it this way. If you go talk to Colonel Shu first, the train explodes. The explosive charge is in the vent. This device looks as though it is armed and could go off at any moment. Explosive of 35 or higher, or science of 45 or higher required to defuse. Do nothing or explosive/science defuse the charge. I know damn well my explosive is not higher than 35, so this is definitely a science check. Successfully extracted and defused the bomb. Now we can go talk to Colonel Shu. That should have been Boone's point for us, but I don't know if we have to complete the quest first, which is what we're going to do anyway. I'm walking into a corner. So down the escalator we go. Colonel Shu is on the first floor. We're going to talk to him. Colonel Shu! Colonel Shu!
Yes? What is it?
You won't be having problems with intelligence leaks anymore. I wouldn't go that far. We haven't actually done anything. All we really did was defuse the bomb. I guess we know who it is, and if they decide they want to do something about it, then good for them, but...
No? What happened?
It was Curtis. He's in the Legion. I can prove he tried to blow up the monorail.
Curtis? He's been in the NCR long before our conflict with the Legion. There's just no way. I hope you're mistaken, but somehow I don't think so. It'd explain a lot. This is much worse than anyone expected. There could be others, too. You've done everything that was asked of you. You have my personal thanks for this. And I'll make sure you receive the credit you deserve.
Thank you.
I'll have Curtis taken into custody. If he lets himself be taken alive, that is.
I bet I could make the Legion prisoner talk. I'll just get this quest while I'm here. I'm not going to do it in this episode, but we'll get it.
I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent. But I think she's hit a wall. Talk to her if you like. See if she has any use for you.
Will
Her
do.
office is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building.
Alright, goodbye. NCR's liked me. Enough news of your good work has been passed around. The people will like you. Cool. Alright, so Boone should talk to me now. That should be my 5 Boone points that I need. And we've already talked to Bitterroot about Bitter Springs, which is the other bullet point we needed to talk about, so let's talk to Boone and see if he has anything to say, then if not, we'll wait and see if he'll talk to us. Nope, he doesn't have anything to talk to us about. Anywho, let's go talk to Lieutenant Boyd, see if she has anything to say about what we've already done.
You're back.
Nope. She literally told us to come back and talk to her about the intelligence leaks, but she has nothing to say about them. Alright, we waited, and let's see if... What are you pointing at, bro?
I wish I had a first recon guy looking after me.
That's what I was talking about earlier in the episode. What are you pointing at? What? What's over here? What, are you afraid of potato chips? But everybody else except the first recon guys will acknowledge that I'm traveling with a first recon guy. I don't know at this point what I have to do to trigger Boone. That should be everything we need. Here's a dialogue option I haven't seen yet. Were you at Bitter Springs with first recon?
I was in a lot of places with first recon. I don't really remember.
You must have been at Bitter Springs. What happened there?
There was a miscommunication.
There must be more to it than that.
Not as much as you'd think. We did what we were there to do. A lot of people got killed. That's war. Maybe looking back, you do things differently. But that's not how it works. In the field, you hesitate, you or someone you care about will die. They teach that from day one.
Sounds like you have some regrets.
You don't come out of a tour of duty without regrets. It's best just not to think about it.
You think about Bitter Springs a lot.
Yeah. Always. Even when I sleep.
Maybe it would help to go back there? There we go. That's what I need.
I don't think so. It won't change anything. And that's a memory I don't want refreshed.
I think it's time you told me what happened to your wife, Ish. Okay.
I don't see what this helps.
The better we understand each other, the more effective we'll be.
Alright. I tracked her down. Southeast, near the river. They were selling her. Saw it through my scope. Whole place swarming with Legion, hundreds of them, bidding for things no man has a right to. I just had my rifle with me. Just me against all of them. So I took the shot.
Better for her to die than live as a Legion slave.
Yeah. What they do to women, that's worse than death. There was no choice in what I did. It was more like being forced to watch something you can't stop. All this was only ever gonna play out one way. It still is. I don't have any say. All I can do is wait for it to be done with me.
You make it sound like your wife's death was inevitable.
It was gonna be something. If I'd never met Carla, it would have been something else. I should have never gotten close to her. I've got bad things coming to me. You better keep your distance too.
Why do you think you've got bad things coming?
Because fair is fair.
You're not gonna tell me?
No. Sorry.
Is it because of Bitter Springs that you think you've got bad things coming?
Life has a way of punishing you for the mistakes you make. Big enough mistake, punishment can take a while. Mine's not over.
Life doesn't work that way. Misfortunes are just bad luck. Maybe you can make up for your mistakes.
A murderer who does good deeds is still a murderer. And he'll still get his judgment. I left the NCR when my tour was up. Had enough of war. And decided I was going to start over. None of it made a difference in the end.
How do you know your punishment isn't over?
Because I'm still alive.
And that is all he has to say about that for now, but I think that is every bullet point you need to check off in terms of prerequisites for him to talk to you. I think now it actually is just a waiting game, so...
Hey, I thought some more about what you said. I think maybe you're right. Maybe I should go to Bitter Springs. I don't know what I'm hoping to find there.
What changed your mind?
Nothing. Dream. Just tired of thinking about it.
Okay, we'll make it a point to stop there.
I hope this isn't a mistake.
And with that, we get the quest I forgot to remember to forget, which means next episode, that is going to be what we are doing. The entire episode is going to be dedicated to helping Boone get over his slump with everything that's happened in his life. So, boys and girls, join me next episode as we leave Camp McCarran and head back towards Bitter Springs. So until then, I hope you have enjoyed. Leave that like and sub down below if you have. Until next time, pizza.